From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, November 20th, 2014. Silver is trading at $16.16 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,190 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $358. Antiwar.com reports the struggle with people who have gone to Syria to join the Islamic State is not so much the ones you know about, it's the ones you don't know about. That was the message in a briefing by FBI Director James Comey. Comey reiterated that the U.S. has around a dozen American The Islamic State members that we have a pretty good handle on, but conceded that there were potentially many more that they don't know about. How many? It's not clear, but Comey says about 150 Americans who have gone to Syria in recent months are under surveillance just in case. That doubtless includes innocent people, but even surveilling everyone they know went to Syria cannot be all-encompassing, as many Western jihadists have simply traveled to Turkey and then snuck into Syria from there. The Islamic State has recruited massive numbers of foreign fighters, particularly Westerners, and while Comey claimed that he was being light on the details because, quote, I don't want them to know too much about what we know, end quote, the reality is that various intelligence agencies across the West don't have nearly the level of insight they claim. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They now take Bitcoin for purchasing precious metals so you can turn your profits into a long-term investment. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing. 800-874-9760. UPI reports the Utah State Legislature approved a bill Wednesday allowing the state to execute death row inmates via firing squad if the approved lethal injection drugs are unavailable. Because the European companies that developed the deadly cocktail opposed the death penalty, they have stopped fulfilling orders from the United States. Republican State Rep Paul Ray told KSL, this bill deals with how we, for lack of a better word, execute the death penalty. He insisted the bill is merely a backup, adding, hopefully we never have to use it. Mark Wheatley, a Democrat who voted against the measure, countered by saying, we're going backwards here in Utah when we should be making progress. This is not a proactive approach, this is reactionary. We are not proposing real solutions, we are hiding behind outdated and ineffective policies. Although the Utah legislature voted to suspend the firing squad in 2003, it was used in 2010 to execute Ronnie Lee Gardner, who was sentenced before the suspension. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a federal judge struck down Montana's ban on same-sex marriage as unconstitutional on Wednesday. Montana is set to become the 34th state where same-sex marriage is legal. South Carolina is then due to become the 35th state today unless the Supreme Court agrees to a long-shot plea from the state and blocks it. In Great Falls, Montana, U.S. District Judge Brian Morris overturned a 2004 amendment to the state's constitution prohibiting same-sex marriage in response to a lawsuit brought by the ACLU of Montana. The Montana ruling was expected because the state is within the jurisdiction of the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which has already struck down similar bans in Nevada and Idaho. Morris wrote in his 18-page ruling, the time has come for Montana to follow other states within the 9th Circuit and recognize that laws that ban same-sex marriage violate the constitutional right of same-sex couples to equal protection of laws. The judge barred Montana from enforcing its ban and said it must immediately recognize same-sex marriages from other states. The decision marks the latest in a series of court victories by same-sex rights advocates over the past year, although a Cincinnati-based federal appeals court on November 6th became the first to uphold same-sex marriage bans. That decision by the 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals backing 4 states' bans created a split within the courts, increasing the chance that the U.S. Supreme Court will rule once and for all on whether states can ban same-sex marriage. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.